All right, today we're talking about one of the biggest struggles I see in school, at work, in your family, almost anywhere. This is a really big problem, and that's peer pressure. People are pushing you to do something. People are telling you to go here, do that, and sometimes we really feel pressured to go along with it. So today I want to talk about peer pressure, how to handle it, and how to stand strong. Hey friends, welcome back to the podcast. My name's Daniel. I'm so excited that you're here. If you've been looking for a place where you feel like you can be encouraged, where you feel like you can grow in your confidence, this is an absolutely great place to do that. So make sure that you stick around. I want to apologize if you're watching the podcast, not just listening. You'll see I'm back outside again. I didn't want to take the time to set up the whole podcast studio equipment because there's some stuff happening inside. Makes it a little bit impractical right now. So I'm back outside. The colors are not great, obviously, but hey, that's what we're working with right now. Yeah, peer pressure is a big thing. Last time I finished an episode, I was traveling, but I said this is the episode we would do next. So obviously, here we are. We're just gonna go ahead and get into it. If you've ever dealt with peer pressure, you'll know it's not just like an every once in a while thing. For some of us, like a daily thing. We're struggling daily with people telling us to do stuff, feeling pressured like we need to do something to fit in. Galatians 1 verse 10 says, "For am I now seeking the approval of man or of God? Or am I trying to please man? If I were still trying to please man, I would not be a servant of Christ." Now, I count myself as a servant of Christ. Wherever you're listening from, whoever you are on the other end of this camera, I don't know what your life story is, but I'm glad that you're here. I'm going to be talking from my perspective right now, but I'm hoping we'll be able to make a connection here, wherever you are, wherever you're listening from. My seeking the approval of man or of God, I think that's a big one. Now, you could apply this however you want to, but I think for a lot of us, we're busy pursuing the approval of different people. We're busy looking for the approval of our teachers, of our friends, of our family members. We're looking for approval from almost anyone that could possibly give it to us. And at first, it's hard, especially in my life. Do I want to be liked? Do I want to be approved of by everyone? Or do I actually want to follow Jesus? That's a big one. Do I want the likes? Do I want the approval? Do I want the appreciation? Or do I want to follow Jesus? If you were to ask me, I would say I want to follow Jesus. For a lot of you guys watching, listening, you would say, yeah, I want to follow Jesus. But does our life really reflect that? That's the question. So peer pressure is everywhere. Everywhere you look. It's not just about the middle school, like don't cave into what the bullies want you to do sort of thing. You go to high school, you go to work, in your family. Obviously, it's people pressuring you there, but then it's still TikTok trends. It's friend group expectations, how people expect you to act, how people expect you to talk, even what you wear. All of these different things, and all of these can become peer pressure at some point when people are expecting something from you. People are trying to get you to do something. That could be, like I said, the latest trend on TikTok. You're scrolling, you're just seeing people doing the same thing over and over and over again. It's like they want you to do that. All of your friends talk a certain way. They want you to talk the same way, do the same things. You might also be thinking, hey, does this really affect me? Does this really have any actual application in my own life? I would argue, yes. If you've ever done something just to not look weird, then I would argue, yes, we've all dealt with peer pressure before. Have you ever just done something just so you don't look weird? If everyone else is doing something, have you ever just done it too so you don't stand out? I think we all have. For example, if everyone's using a certain word, how do you think trends start, right? You want me to use a really crazy example? We're going to use a crazy example. Have you ever heard, it's a lot of younger kids use it. I've seen high schoolers use it too, and I think it's really, really, I don't get it. But you ever see kids go like 6, 7? I absolutely hate that. I don't know where it came from. Actually, I kind of do know where it came from, but I don't. It's like this thing that caught on, right? And a lot of kids do it. Why do you think everyone started doing that? I personally find it really annoying whenever anyone does that. I know for a lot of you guys, you can't even imagine. Dang, you said 6, 7 on a podcast. Yeah, I did. I'm using it as an example here. A lot of kids use it. I couldn't even tell you why they use it. But one person started doing it eventually. A lot of other people just jumped on the trend. I see it, right? It's definitely a thing. But why is it so powerful? We all look for a sense of belonging. We all want to feel like we belong somewhere. We all want to feel like we click somewhere. Nobody wakes up and feels like, oh, I hope I get left out today. No one thinks like that. Imagine being at a concert and everyone's waving their hands and everyone's jumping. It feels awkward not to do the same because everyone else around you is doing it. If everyone's jumping or raising their hands, you're the one person standing there. It feels awkward. I know some of us will be those people. But I'm just saying, when everyone else is doing something, sometimes it feels really compelling to do it too. But standing strong looks different than you would think. When we talk about standing strong against peer pressure, when we talk about standing strong against what people are trying to get us to do, what culture's trying to get us to do, it looks different than what a lot of us think it is. It's not some big dramatic speech like, oh yeah, I'm sorry, I just don't do those things anymore. If you want to keep on doing those, you can, but I'm not going to follow you. You guys go ahead and live your lives and I'll be here and we'll see who's the last one laughing. No. I know there's some people who will do it like that, but sometimes standing strong is just as simple as a quiet no. People ask you to go do something. People ask you to go somewhere. All I have to say is no. If you want to explain it, you can. You don't have to. It's almost another sort of pressure, feeling you have to be pressured to explain yourself to someone all the time. You don't always have to explain yourself. If your friends want you to go see a movie and you know some scenes in the movie compromise on your values, you don't owe them an explanation. If you say, no, I don't want to go to the movie, that should be good enough for your friends. If you really want to explain it even more, I don't want to go to the movie because I feel like some of the scenes are going to compromise on my values. Hey, that's great. But you really shouldn't have to explain yourself any more than that. That becomes a whole nother sort of pressure. You feel pressured to explain everything you do, everything you say. It becomes like this thing. I feel like I always have to be explaining myself. And I've fallen into that trap before too. I've been there where I feel like I always have to explain everything. Oh, I can't make it. I'm so sorry. Give them like a whole list of why I can't make it. Oh, I'm not going to do that. Got to explain the whole reason why not. Sometimes just a simple no is easy enough. What else does it look like? It looks like excusing yourself when the conversation turns toxic. As soon as people start gossiping about someone else, as soon as things start going sideways in a conversation, you don't have to just like, I don't know, make a whole big fuss about it. You can just step out of the conversation yourself. That's powerful enough. Just excuse yourself. Just get out of it and be like, oh yeah, sorry guys, I can't do this. I can't talk about this person. I don't know. I can't think of another example off the top of my head, but just like that, you walk out, you move on. You don't have to be loud, but you do have to be clear. You don't have to be you don't have to be shouting at the top of your lungs, explaining everything like I said. It just has to be clear. When someone asks you to do something, I mean, there's two types of people, right? There's some people who just shout at you, and there's some people who just ask you to do something. Sometimes I would argue that people who shout at you are the most annoying because sometimes they just shout at you and they shout at you, but sometimes you don't even know what they're saying because they're shouting so much and they're talking so much, so loud, that it's like, what are you talking about? I think every single one of us, we prefer just to be talked to in a clear, gentle tone, asked to do something. Hey, you need a favor? You need me to do something? I forgot to do something. I'm sorry. If they ask you in a clear, gentle way, it's a whole lot easier. I know in my life, I'm so much quicker to react if someone just asks me kindly to do something than if someone's shouting at me and pointing their finger at my chest. I'll let you think. Who would you be quicker to respond to? So, practical application. 3 steps to stand strong in the moment. Afterwards, always easy, right? You can think of a million excuses afterwards. I don't think I'm the only one. Hopefully, some of you guys watching too, you're exactly the same. Where after something happens, like after it's all said and done, that's when like your best comebacks come to you. That's when the best thoughts come, and you're like, man, I should have said this. I should have said that. I could have done this. What are some practical steps now so we're not thinking about it later and being like, man, I could have done this. I could have done that. This is gonna sound. Some of you guys are gonna think I'm crazy, but honestly, you can just pause and pray. 3 seconds. God, give me strength. Not out loud. Just take a moment, step back from the conversation. Ask the Lord to give you strength. And even before you get into any situation, you can constantly be praying, Lord, give me strength. Give me the strength to to say no when things come that I don't want to be doing. When people try to pressure me into doing things, give me the strength, give me the courage to stand on your word, to stand on the values that I have, to be able to say no. I think that's powerful. Remember who you belong to. Remember whose you are. Approval from God in my life is way bigger than the approval of people. It's way more important to me. Now, obviously, it doesn't feel like it in the moment. When everyone's laughing at you, when everyone's talking about you, obviously, it doesn't feel like it. But when you think about it in the long run, at the end of your life, I'm positive we're all going to be way more concerned with what we did and how we served the Lord and what we did with our life, rather than, I don't know, if we went somewhere with our friends or if we did something with someone, if we compromised on our values somewhere. The big thing that's going to matter in the end isn't if we said no to our friends once. It's going to be what we did with our life, how we lived our life, if we followed the Lord, if we didn't. That's what's going to matter at the end. There's so many people, they just live their lives, and at the very end of their life, they go like, Lord, forgive me. I lived my whole life absolutely crazy. They're about to die, and that's what they come to. Why not just start there? Think about your phone. You don't just let anyone change your lock screen. My little brother, he changes my lock screen all the time. He loves to go on my phone, just change it. If a random stranger were to do that all the time, that'd be kind of weird. You're usually the one who decides what's on your lock screen. I got my phone here. It's my family. That's what's on my lock screen right now. I'm not going to let a random person just walk up and change it. And it's the same with your identity. My identity comes from the Lord. That's where my identity comes from. My identity comes from who God said I was, who Jesus came to show me that I was. That's my identity. And I'm not just going to let any person just walk up and try to tell me to change my identity, try to convince me to change my identity, to change what I do, to change how I act. Find your people is the third one. Find yourself some solid people. I know sometimes for a lot of us, we're just so quick to take any friends that come our way because a lot of people don't want to be our friends. A lot of people don't understand us, it feels like sometimes. So when someone really does want to be our friend, we're so quick to bring them in and be like, yeah, let's be friends, let's be friends, let's be friends. And then on the other hand of it, it's like we're trying to live a solid life without any sort of temptation or feeling like we're being pressured in anything. And then how do I put it? And we just do it alone. We have no friends. We don't have anyone we can talk to, no one we can call. That's not healthy either. So I would suggest you find yourself 2 to 3 solid, caring friends who are able to encourage you in your faith, who are able to help you walk through it. This lonesome Christianity, this lonesome Christian life is a trap. I really do think so. You look at the people who thought they could do it alone. A lot of them get isolated. They drift. You look at them a couple of years later, you're like, what happened to you? It's because they got isolated. They got alone. So I'm going to ask you a couple things before we wrap up here. We're trying to make the episodes a little bit shorter. I'm trying to hit about 15 minutes, I want to say. Who in your life helps you stand stronger? Who in your life helps you grow? And then at the same time, who keeps pulling you down? Those people who keep pulling you down, who keep trying to convince you to compromise on your values. That one girl who keeps texting you, that one friend who keeps trying to get you to do something with them. Who's that? Who's pulling you down? And at the same time, who's helping you grow? Who's building you up? This podcast is all about helping you grow, helping build you up. That's the whole point here. At the end of the day, peer pressure isn't just about willpower. It's not just about, oh yeah, I'm just going to decide not to do this. It's about knowing that Jesus has already stood strong for you, that he's already lived a life for you because he loved you. And if he's done that because he loved me so much, then I can live my life according to what he said, according to what he called me to. I really do think so. It's hard, but I think it's worth it. Jesus gets it. He faced a lot of pressure. He didn't cave to it. We see it. Read the Gospels, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. You see someone who faced a lot of pressure, but still stood strong in it. That's where I would leave you. Read those Gospels, Matthew, Mark, Luke, John. You'll find someone, even if you've never read the Bible before, just open Matthew, read through Matthew, Mark, Luke, John, and you'll find someone who lived a consistent life in the face of pressure. And I think that's one of the things that's so appealing about Jesus when you look at him just from a really simple standpoint. You look at Jesus and you're like, why is Jesus so important? If you take out all of the Son of God claims, if you take out all of the miracle claims and everything, look at the way he lived his life. Look at the way he lived his life in the face of pressure. That's the sort of person I want to be. And that's apparently the sort of person you want to be too, because you're here listening. So thank you for tuning in. Thank you for listening to this episode. I know it's been a little bit different, a little bit of a different style. We'll get back to the regular flow pretty soon. But yeah, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure you share it with a friend if you think it's going to help them. Again, apologies for the bad video if you're watching on video. But yeah, I'll catch you in the next episode. Bye. Love you.